tell me something. When's the last time you went to the grocery store and thought, wow, that was cheaper than I expected, or pulled up to the pump and felt good about it? Yeah, it's been a minute. Now here's what's interesting. You didn't change. Your spending habits didn't suddenly go rogue. What changed is what your dollar can actually buy. Lately, cracks have been forming in the petrodollar system, the financial architecture that has kept the US dollar at the center of global trade since 1974. Today, I want to connect these big macro dots directly to your household budget, because what's happening out there in the oil markets and the bond markets and the currency markets, it's not abstract. It is showing up at your kitchen table. And here's the thing, this is not a collapse story. This is a slow-moving shift, and there's still a window to act, but that window doesn't stay open forever. Let's get into it. For this to make sense, I need to give you about 90 seconds of context. Stick with me. I promise it connects. After World War II, the US came out as the only major economy with its finances intact. Most of Europe's gold had already made its way over here. So, in 1944, at a conference in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, the world agreed to peg their currencies to the US dollar, and the dollar would be backed by gold. The US got to export paper dollars and receive real goods in return. That arrangement was called the exorbitant privilege. Then, in 1971, Nixon ended dollar-to-gold convertibility because the United States had printed more dollars than it had gold to back them. Foreign countries, France included, had been quietly lining up to redeem their dollars. France sent a warship to New York to pick up their gold. No, seriously, I'm not making that up. So now the dollar's not backed by gold. How does it keep its value? Enter the petrodollar deal of 1974. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger negotiated with Saudi Arabia, price all oil in United States dollars only, recycle the surplus dollars back into United States Treasury bonds. Other Gulf states followed. In exchange, the United States provided military security. That deal created a permanent global demand for dollars. You need oil, you need dollars first. It's elegant, really, almost suspiciously elegant. That system has held for 50 years, and right now it is under more pressure than it has been at any point in that half-century. Vessel traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, that narrow waterway which actually handles about 20% of the world's oil supply, has dropped by 90 to 95% because of the conflict in the region. Brent crude oil has surged past $112 per barrel, which is an 84% increase year to date. Some analysts are even projecting $150 to $200 a barrel if the closure persists. And here's the detail that really matters. Iran has started forcing commercial ships to pay transit fees in Chinese yuan, not dollars. Yuan. This is a direct, deliberate challenge to the petrodollar system happening at the world's most important oil choke point. Meanwhile, the dollar's share of global reserves has fallen from 71% in the year 2000 to 58% today. BRICS nations have hoarded over 6,000 tons of gold and are dumping U.S. Treasury bonds, and U.S. Treasury yields are spiking. Now, normally, when there's a global crisis, investors run to Treasuries as a safe haven, and yields fall. That's not what's happening. Yields are rising, which means people are selling Treasuries, not buying them. Okay, so what does any of that actually cost your family? Let's start with the easy one. Gas. Oil at $112 a barrel means national average gasoline prices are climbing toward levels that historically force households to restructure their budgets. Maybe cancel a subscription here, delay a purchase there. It's death by 1,000 small adjustments. Now groceries. This one has a lag. Here's why. 30% of global seaborne fertilizer trade passes through the Strait of Hormuz. When fertilizer supply gets disrupted, food production costs rise. But you won't see that at the checkout counter for 60 to 90 days. It's coming. It's just not here yet. Then there's debt. Global dollar-denominated debt is estimated at over $65 trillion, and that does not even include the U.S. national debt. Here's the dynamic that surprises most people. A dollar shortage, not a dollar collapse, creates what economists call deflationary pressure. Asset prices can fall, but your debt, your mortgage, your car loan, your student loans, that stays exactly the same. Variable rate debt becomes especially painful because the cost of borrowing can spike without warning. So to summarize where we are right now, your energy costs are up, your grocery costs are coming up, and if you're carrying variable rate debt, your financial cushion is shrinking from multiple directions at once. The dollar isn't going to zero next week, but it is buying you measurably less than it was 1 year ago, and the mechanism that kept it strong for 50 years is being challenged in real time. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, but can't the Federal Reserve just fix this? Here's the honest answer. Not cleanly. The Fed's current rate sits around 3.64%. If they raise rates to fight inflation, they accelerate the debt spiral. U.S. interest expense is already approaching 96% of tax receipts when you include entitlements and veterans costs. Higher rates make that number worse, fast, if they cut rates to support growth and soften debt costs. The dollar weakens further, which actually speeds up de-dollarization and pushes oil-importing countries to seek dollar alternatives. And here's the deeper problem. What we're dealing with right now is supply shock inflation, meaning prices are rising because actual physical supply is being disrupted. The Fed's tools are designed for demand-side problems. You can't lower the price of oil by raising interest rates. The oil is physically not moving through the strait. The Fed is not helpless, but they don't have a clean move here. Expect turbulence. Do not expect a quick fix. So what do you actually do with all of this? Let me give you the real talk. The goal here is not to scare you into doing something rash. The goal is to help you see what's coming early enough to make calm, intentional decisions. Short term, we're talking about the next 30 to 60 days. First, if you have any variable rate debt, like credit cards or adjustable rate mortgages, look into locking in a fixed rate now. Second, build a 90-day household cash buffer if you don't already have one. Third, if your budget allows, consider front-loading on non-perishable household staples. Medium term, this is the next 3 to 12 months. Fourth, review your energy cost exposure. That could mean weatherizing your home, evaluating a more fuel-efficient vehicle if you're already due for a change, or just understanding how many dollars a month your household is spending on energy so you can track it intentionally. Fifth, if you have retirement accounts or savings that are heavily weighted toward long-duration U.S. Treasury bonds, meaning bond funds with long maturities, you really need to understand what you're holding. Now, the asset landscape. Just to be clear, this is for educational context, not financial advice. Gold is up 42.6% year over year, sitting around $4,490 an ounce. It's the classic inflation and geopolitical hedge. Bitcoin is down about 19.5% to around $66,500. It's acting less like a crisis hedge right now and more like a liquidity barometer. If you're exploring inflation hedges beyond traditional savings, do your research, talk to a qualified financial advisor, and understand what you own before you own it. Here's what I want to leave you with. This is a slow-moving crisis with a window to act. The households that come out of this okay will be the ones who understood what was happening before the second wave arrived. That's what this channel is for. If this video helped you connect the dots, do me a favor and hit subscribe. My algorithm will thank you, and honestly, so will your grocery budget. Until next time, I've been Kevin with moneytreeandme, providing better security and ensuring better lives. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.